right, thanks for joining us on the last few videos where we've recapped Ohio. One of the big takeaways that we had, or I had specifically, was driving with emotion, not driving with emotion. Had a few things not go my way, and I started to get better and not be too emotional, but at one point I passed the moment where I passed this section of stage where I broke down and didn't have any fuel left. And at that moment, I thought I wanted to be cool, do a cool pendulum because there were people around me that helped me and I wanted to show off for them, and everything went wrong. I did the wrong things with my feet, I did the wrong things with my head, and luckily all the cameras were rolling, so luckily we'll have some clips for you guys. But I wanted to talk with you, Tim. This is something we've talked about since I came to Team O'Neill, driving with emotion, stop driving with emotion. I tend to have this problem. I'm fairly conservative emotionally in my day-to-day and running the business, but for some reason, once I get behind the wheel, something comes out of me, and I've controlled it trading at the school quite a bit, but there are moments in which it shows back up. So maybe take us through your side of what you see in me in that and what you see with people driving in emotion.
Well, you know, one thing you mentioned is that once you went past the last point, you made it. So when you ran out of gas, you were really well behaved up to that point when you were saying, okay, here it is, here's the stage I ran out of gas, here's the corner, there's where I went by. You were on good behavior. As soon as you went by that, you're like, okay, now I can go flat out. Yeah. So it seemed like you were managing your emotions, and I've done that before where I've crashed a car and I finally make it past the crash site. It's like I breathe a sigh of relief, and now I think I can go on. It's like I overcame my last big screw up or whatever.
Right.
But the managing your emotion is all part of manage your expectations. So you start off with a plan of, I'm just going to finish. I'm not going to do anything stupid. I'm going to drive at 80%. And that's really what you need to stay with the whole rally. But there are so many things that can tip you and get you to get off your game. You know, I know that a lot of times the navigators are the only ones that know the score, because we're not racing one against the other here. We're every minute or every 2 minutes. So we don't really know how we're doing against everybody else. And I have seen many times, and some bad things, really bad things happen in big crashes when finally the driver knows they're winning. They didn't expect to be winning. Their job was just to show up and not do anything stupid. But when they find out they're winning, all of a sudden their plan changes. Like, wow, instead of just finishing, I could win this thing.
Right.
And I have a lot of experience, but I tend to tell my co-driver, don't tell me that.
Right.
I don't need to know. If my plan is to stay and finish, which is what I'm doing with my car, is just trying to develop it and trying to get to the end. I don't need to know if I'm winning or not. I'd like to know, you know, the other thing can happen. I found out when I'm driving my car in this last rally, I tried pretty hard for about 4 or 5 stages, and I'm getting beat by Seamus and Leah Block, and everybody's 2 seconds a mile faster.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I thought I was going to be closer to that. So that can also get you the opposite.
Some sort of expectation and lack of...
Right. It's like it took some of the wind out. I thought I'd be close to that. As far as what you say, you every once in a while you get a little too excited.
Yeah. And
I've been saying it's the Frenchman thing.
Right.
And really, you get excited. I've seen you operate with 4-wheelers and a few other things when
make mistakes.
A lot of people are like that, and I see it with a lot of the young guys. They get excited, they get happy, you teach them a trick or two, they really get excited, and now they're just going to go for it. It's like, but they don't know, they don't have the experience to be able to handle that or to be able to sustain that pace. So we're trying to learn all the things that we can about driving and keep the car together and everything else. And it takes a long time to learn all that. But some of us are just ready to go flat out even before we've learned all the lessons. So that's right. I don't mind you getting excited and driving really fast and even beating me on a regular basis. I'm okay with that.
Not happening.
As long as you have the skills to maintain that level of speed.
Long into 6 left over crest, into 6 left.
Next.
Into 5 left.
Next.
Into caution, 5 right, into acute left.
Yeah, and I think specifically for me, I've gotten in these situations I've never been in before, and I get so excited, and I've wanted to do this my whole life, and so it's like I'm trying to get 100% of every second. And you've said it before, just if you enjoyed 90% of it, just enjoy that, right?
Just stay there for a while.
Right. Don't get that last little bit, because that's when you mess up.
The one more run skiing,
Right.
the one more run driving at the school, you know, you get 3 or 4 runs, you stop, you switch. You know that if you tried that 5th run, it was going to be, you know, roll over, ball of flames, you know, it was going to be ugly.
And you've experienced that 25 years of running the rally school. You've seen thousands of people.
They get
be like
so
me.
excited, they're about to crash, and it's like, don't. Just stop.
Cool. Well, no, it's something that I really appreciate, and something that I've seen a lot in myself, and being able to control that, and it's experience, right? And just knowing that you get another chance to try again, and this isn't like you're not trying to get everything out of this one moment in life, and you get to do it again, or whatever it is that can help make me be okay with 80-90% of the full experience of that moment.
I was just thinking of another thing. When I raced in the U.S. and Canada, I would be at my 90% in the U.S. because that was the championship. I had to. I had Volkswagen, whoever was paying the bills. I couldn't just throw it away because I was being stupid. I'd go to Canada, and then I would drive like an idiot because I didn't have contracts. I didn't have points to worry about. So I always felt like you did after you got gas in your car. You were driving. It didn't matter.
Right.
You can go fast as you want, experiment, try things. So there may be times where you can go to another event that's not as important, or you're at an event and something happens and you get a chance to super rally and you can actually go back. Then you can try stuff. But it seems like you have to drive to your 90%, 95% maybe when you're chasing points or it really matters. And there may be times where you can let the Frenchman out of the bottle and go for it.
That's the goal. Learn how to control that thing, and then use it to my benefit when I need it.
Right, and I remember also another story. When I first started, I was kind of fast, but then there was other times I would be really fast, and I didn't know how to do it. And my co-drivers, Martin and some of the others, were pretty smart, so they realized that when I had a mechanical problem, then I would start going super fast, because in my head I was losing time, so I had to overcompensate. So I only went super fast when I absolutely had to. And I had to discover it kind of the hard way, where my co-drivers and my mechanics would have these pretend problems. And they would be like, oh, I'm sorry, we got a problem here, I hope, it's safe to drive, but it's, we're gonna
Lose some time here.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the other one was
amazing.
my co-driver we'd check into a control, and he would be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I made a mistake in math. I added 3 and 7, I came up with 11. Now we're 2 minutes, now we're 35th position. I'm so sorry. I got it. And I would drive absolutely flat out,
Hey, keep it on the road.
way faster than any other times. And then later on, the co-driver was like, yeah, actually, I thought I made a mistake, but I didn't. So now we're 5 minutes ahead. Of course, I didn't realize what he was doing for some time. but
Amazing.
actually, that's how I learned to go to that next level when necessary. That's your 99%.
Right. Huh. Oh, that's awesome.
If you stay at 100% too long, eventually you're going to have a problem.
Right. Well, I'd be curious what you guys have had in your experience with emotions and anything you've ever done. So leave a comment in our comment section when emotions have caught you out or doing something too fun and didn't work out for you. So love to get your input, and we'll talk to you guys in the comments, and look forward to catching you on the next video. Thanks.
Thank you.